clubs are coming out strong in the summer transfer window, from the sealed deal of Alexandre Lacazette from Lyon to Arsenal for £47 million to the deal of Romelu Lukaku for £75 million presented by Manchester United and Chelsea Football Club. And also Nigeria is not left out, as our own Kelechi Iheanacho, 20-year-old striker from Manchester United, is about to move from that club to former champions Leicester City. It is on this exciting note I welcome you to another edition of Limitless Soccer. My name is Bayonle Arashi. Welcome to the show. We have so much for you today on the show, but I'll bring you more information and, of course, updates after this short break. Welcome back. The FIFA Confederations Cup eventually ended last week Sunday, and of course the world champions Germany with their B team conquered the South American powerhouse Chile in that epic final by winning that game by 1-0 against Chile. Of course, Portugal came third. The European champions defeated Mexico by 2-1, coming from 1 goal down to beat Mexico in that particular game. We have the highlights of both the third place game and, of course, that finals. Very, very interesting game. I really love the game, all action game, and of course it was the game between experienced side and, of course, a very, very youthful German side. Enjoy the highlights of Germany versus Chile and Mexico versus Portugal. That one actually had some red cards in them, and I'll be back on the show. Welcome. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that highlight, and I'm sure maybe not many of you actually saw that game, but you can be sure on Limitless Soccer, any highlight that you missed as far as the beautiful game is concerned, you will not miss it on this show. And of course, you know this show is open to sponsorship. For sponsorship details, contact your producer, the producer of the show, on the number showing on the screen. Of course, we are moving straight to our own Major League Soccer. On July 1st, the Houston Dynamo were away to Colorado Rapids, of course at home to Colorado Rapids. And you know, Houston Dynamo have not been so good on the road this season. They lost that game by 3-1 against Colorado Rapids. But of course, on Wednesday, they had a chance to redeem themselves, and they did so by beating Montreal Impact from Canada by the same goal, 3-1 at the BBVA Compass Stadium. We have the highlights of the game between Houston Dynamo and Montreal Impact, and of course, you know, that game actually took them to third spot in the Western Conference of the Major League Soccer, behind FC Dallas, of course, and of Sporting Kansas City. So Houston Dynamo are third. Not very, very good for them for a chance for a playoff, but you can never say. The game is still on the 17th week of the Major League Soccer. So enjoy the highlight of that game, Houston Dynamo versus Montreal Impact. Welcome back. The show is still Limitless Soccer on this wonderful TV station, of course, with yours truly, Bayonle Arashi. On June 30th, the finals of the European Under-21 Championship was played, and of course it was between two European giants, Germany and Spain. And you know that huge tournament at the Under-21 level is where you see the best of the European football stars, those stars that really make the game to become even greater in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years will emerge at this particular tournament. So you get to see that highlight of that finals between Germany and Spain, and you already know that the Germans also won that championship. Something definitely is going on in Germany. They've been winning everything from the under-17 to the under-20s to the under-21 to even the senior national team, and I think this has been a long investment. They are eventually reaping now. So enjoy that particular highlight, and I'll be back on the show. I promised that was going to be a real great game, and I'm sure you enjoyed that particular highlight. But did you think the Germans deserve to win that particular championship? Do you think they deserve it? Well, of course, you can banter with me, of course, and of course with the fans of the show. You can tweet at Midas Soccer, of course, or follow all our social media platforms at Midas Soccer. And of course, let's get that discussion going between the Germans and the Spanish. Who do you think have the best youth system in that app? In those two countries, of course. Let's get that discussion going straight. We go to the transfer news now. A lot is really happening in the transfer window. Within the week, Alexandre Lacazette actually signed for Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal announcing the striker signing for £47 million. The very young guy, I think 24 years old now, signed a 5-year deal with the Gunners, and hopefully he will be able to bang in the goals for them in the upcoming 2017-2018 season. Of course, Manchester United bidded for Romelu Lukaku, the Everton striker, for £75 million on Thursday. But of course, on Friday, news also featured in that Chelsea, who actually signed this player when he was 18-year-old from Anderlecht back then in 2011, also bidded the same amount for Romelu Lukaku, £75 million. Do you think Lukaku is worth that amount of money? £75 million is a lot of money, and I think some of this club have not really learned their lesson. And I also feel personally that the FIFA also have to step in at some point with the way the players are really being sold from different clubs to another. £75 million is a lot of money for that young striker, but of course the money is available, the money is there, so let them spend it. But where will Romelu Lukaku be headed? Is it going to be Chelsea, where he was rejected by the same man, Jose Mourinho, that now want to sign him to Manchester United? Where do you think Romelu Lukaku will end? Of course, you can also banter with me regarding that one. Of course, other fans on the show by tweeting at Midas Soccer. Also, our own Kelechi Iheanacho will be signing for Leicester City any moment from now for a fee around £25 million. Personally, I think the 20-year-old deserves to be playing football week in, week out. And of course, he might just be another Lukaku story from the English Premier League. He had the right to play in the EPL already, and he had a very good record. 20 goals in 47 matches is not a bad start for that young striker. But of course, Leicester City will be taking him up. Hopefully by Sunday, by tomorrow, that particular deal will be sealed. West Ham were also interested in Kelechi Iheanacho, but there was a clause on that particular contract by Manchester City. They wanted to put a buyback clause on that contract, but I think West Ham were not down with that. But maybe Leicester City wanted to work with that, of course, believing that Kelechi will definitely grow with them and they can buy him for a bigger amount of money in another 1 or 2 years. Finally, Pepe of Portugal signed for Turkish champion Besiktas in Turkey, of course, over the weekend for a free transfer. But of course, it's going to be earning a very big salary with that Turkish giant. I will take a quick break now on the show, and I'll be back with more on Limitless Soccer. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to another major highlight for you. Remember, the Black Stars of Ghana were visitors to the United States few weeks ago. About 2 weeks they spent in the US. They played a game against Mexico last weekend, upper weekend actually, and of course they lost that game by 1-0 with all their biggest stars, of course, led by Asamoah Gyan himself, the number 3 superstar. But of course they played another game against the United States last weekend, and that was even a better game between the two great nations. But of course, United States had the better of the Ghanaians, winning that game by 3-1. And Gyan, he has not lost too many penalties in his career, but he lost a penalty in that particular game. We have the full highlight of that particular game for you today. Ghana versus USA highlight. Enjoy it, and I'll be back to round off today on Limitless Soccer. That's our time today on Limitless Soccer. If time permits us, we'll bring you the top 10 goals at the just concluded Under-21 European Championship. So many beautiful goals in that particular tournament. But if time permits us, you get to see those goals. But if not, we'll bring it to you next week for sure on the show. This program is open to sponsorship. For sponsorship details, kindly contact the numbers on the screen right now or reach us via any of our social media platform. Bring your products and services on this show, and I assure you, you will definitely be glad you did. Of course, special shout out and of course love going out to our own Super Eagles goalkeeper Carl Ikeme. Of course, Carl was diagnosed of acute leukemia on Thursday, and of course our heart goes out to that brave man, and of course we believe that he's going to come out of this one. Carl Ikeme plays for Wolverhampton Wanderers in England, of course, and of course another shout out goes to that special young man Bradley Lowery, a huge Sunderland fan, of course a huge soccer fan. He passed away on Friday in England. Of course, at just 6-year-old, he battled really hard from a very rare cancer that was discovered when he was just 18 months old. He is a very huge friend of Jermaine Defoe, the English striker. Of course, rest in perfect peace, Bradley Lowery. On that very sad note, I'll be saying bye on the show today. I'll see you guys next week, God willing. My name is Bayonle Arashi. I love you all. Bye now.